The American M1 Abrams is regarded as the most powerful main battle tank in the world today. Although there have been many challengers for the top spot over the years, the Abrams has held the title since it was first introduced in 1980. There is no question that many countries produce excellent tanks. Much attention is given to the United Kingdom and Germany for their tank designs, but other countries such as France, Israel, Japan, and South Korea produce high-quality tanks as well. One country that does not get much attention is China, and that's a mistake, because China has developed a tank that people need to know about. In this video, we'll be comparing the Abrams to the Chinese Type 99. We'll explore the capabilities of the Type 99, examining its design, range, armor, and firepower. We'll look at its strengths and weaknesses and see how it stacks up against the American Abrams. Our analysis is based on the most advanced variants of each: the Abrams M1A2 SEP V3 and the Type 99A2. Historically, China is lagged behind the rest of the world in terms of main battle tank designs. Early on, it seemed unnecessary for China to design its own tanks. It simply purchased them from the Soviet Union, which was more than willing to sell them. When the Soviet Union released the T-54, China was very impressed with its capabilities. It didn't take much time before the Chinese government approached the Soviets about possibly setting up a factory, building it themselves. The Soviet Union agreed. At first, these Chinese-manufactured T-54 used all Soviet parts. It wasn't too long before China realized it could manufacture these parts on its own. The result was the Type 59, which was simply a Type 54 with a new name. The Type 59 was China's first mass-produced tank, with some 10,000 built between 1958 and 1985. It was the backbone of Chinese armor until the early 2000s. It's also quite famous, but not for the reason you might think. Have you ever heard of Tank Man? No, he's not a superhero, but a man with 2 shopping bags who stopped an entire column of Type 59s in 1989. The incident took place shortly after the Chinese military violently put down a mass protest in Beijing's Tiananmen Square. The tanks were traveling down a broad, empty street when Tank Man stepped in front of them and refused to let them pass. Each time the lead tank tried to maneuver around the man, he would shift where he was standing and block the tank again. At one point, Tank Man climbed on top of the lead T-59 and argued with the tank's commander before getting down. He continued to block the street, but was eventually escorted off the road by some bystanders. The whole incident, which lasted about 5 minutes, was caught on video and quickly went viral. After the development of the Type 59, China spent the next few decades trying to develop a tank of its own. First came the T-69, followed by the T-79, the Type 88, and the Type 90, among others. Many of these were not particularly good, and the People's Liberation Army was not shy about saying so. Despite all its efforts, China simply could not design a tank that was on par with the rest of the world. That changed with the development of the Type 99. The Type 99 is a third-generation Chinese main battle tank. It incorporates many features found on modern battle tanks, including composite armor, an advanced fire control system, and a computer-stabilized main gun. The appearance of the Type 99 is quite interesting. It's a mixture of both Russian and Western design concepts. The main hull is similar to the Russian T-72, while its angular welded turret seems to have been inspired by the German Leopard 2. The hull of the Type 99 is slightly less than 8 meters long and 3.5 meters wide. It has a height of 2.2 meters. Like many main battle tanks, it can handle gradients as much as 60% with a side slope of 40%. It can cross trenches as wide as 3 meters, all very standard for a main battle tank. In terms of weight, the Type 99 is lighter than most, weighing in at 54 tons. In comparison, the German Leopard 2 and the British Challenger 2 are approximately 62 tons. Meanwhile, the American Abrams comes in at a whopping 73 tons. It carries a crew of 3, a commander, a gunner, and a driver. The driver sits in a compartment located in the center front hull. The gunner and the commander are located in the turret, with the gunner on the left and the commander on the right. Since the Type 99 uses an autoloader, a 4th crewman is not necessary. For propulsion, the Type 99 uses a 150 HP turbocharged 1500 horsepower diesel engine, which is very similar to the German MB-873 engine used on the German Leopard 2. Given its powerful engine and its lighter weight, the tank can reach speeds up to 50 miles per hour. Off-road, the Type 99 travels at 37 miles per hour. Its fuel tank holds 330 gallons of diesel fuel and has a range of about 600 kilometers, about 370 miles. Earlier versions of the Type 99 used a manual transmission, but the latest version uses an 8-gear CH-1000 hydraulic mechanical semi-automatic transmission. It has 6 forward gears and 2 reverse gears. The torsion bar suspension consists of 6 rubber-tied road wheels with a rear drive sprocket and a front idler. Hydraulic shock absorbers are located on the first, second, and sixth wheels on both sides. Everyone loves to talk about firepower, and we're not going to hold out on you. Let's see what it has. The Type 99 is equipped with a ZPT-98 125mm smoothbore main gun that can fire an impressive 10 rounds per minute using its carousel-type autoloader system. Shells can also be loaded manually, but at the rate of only 1 or 2 rounds per minute. This is because the commander or the gunner must load shells in addition to their main responsibilities. The Type 99 carries a total of 41 shells, 22 of which are stored in the autoloader. It can fire several different types of shells, including armor-piercing depleted uranium penetrator rounds, heat rounds, and HE frag rounds. It can hit targets up to 5,000 meters away, depending on the type of ammunition used. The Type 99 also carries 4 anti-tank missiles that are fired through the main gun at ranges of up to 5 kilometers. The missile is a Chinese-manufactured Russian 9M119M reflex anti-tank guided missile with a high-explosive anti-tank warhead that can hit both tanks and low-flying helicopters. In addition to its main gun, the Type 99 has a coaxial 7.62mm machine gun and a 12.7mm heavy machine gun mounted above the commander hatch on the top of the turret. Its fire control system includes a laser rangefinder and an automatic target tracking system that can lock on a fast-moving target and provide an accurate firing solution. The gunner's primary sight has a magnification capability and is equipped with a thermal imaging system. The ballistic computer on the Type 99 uses information from several systems and even considers environmental factors to increase the probability of a first hit. It's believed that the Type 99's fire control system is superior to that found on the Russian T-72 and possibly better than the T-90s. The armor on a Type 99 is comprised of all-welded steel, plus composite armor over the front hull and turret. Its side skirts also incorporate composite armor. Very little is known about the materials used in the composite armor and its effectiveness. Like other tanks in this class, the Type 99 can be fitted with reactive armor panels to deflect incoming rounds and missile warheads. In addition to its physical armor, the Type 99 also possesses an active protection system to engage incoming threats. The GL-5 active protection system is of Chinese design and consists of 4 radars and 12 launchers. The system provides 360-degree horizontal coverage and 20-degree vertical coverage. If the GL-5 detects an incoming anti-tank missile, it fires 2 high-explosive fragmentation rounds that provide a wide spray of metal shards similar to that of a shotgun. The active protection system has a range of 10 meters, but cannot protect the tank from top attacks, such as an incoming drone or man-portable anti-tank missiles, such as the American-made Javelin. Now that we've looked at the Type 99, it's time to take a peek at the M1 Abrams and its capabilities. The M1 Abrams was first introduced in 1980 as a replacement for the venerable M60, which had served as the backbone of American armor throughout most of the Cold War. The American military later introduced the M1A1 and M1A2, both of which remain in service to this day. It's estimated that there are approximately 4,500 M1A1s and M1A2s in active service, with another 3,500 in storage. The original M1 was retired in 1996. Throughout the years, the United States has significantly upgraded both the M1A1 and the M1A2 to keep up with advances in technology and the realities of the modern battlefield. The most advanced version of the Abrams is the M1A2 SEP V3. SEP stands for System Enhanced Package. The SEP V3 is the 3rd generation of the upgrade program. It's preceded by the original SEP and the SEP V2. The U.S. Army launched the SEP program in 1999 as a way to provide standardized upgrades for both the M1A1 and M1A2. Not only could the M1A2 be upgraded with the System Enhanced Package, but older M1A1s could be modified to become an M1A2 with the same System Enhanced Package. Although the M1A1 remains a potent battlefield asset, it is showing its technological age as new generations of main battle tanks are released by other nations. Approximately 1,000 M1A1s are undergoing the M1A2 SEP modification. The SEP-3 is 9.7 meters long and 3.7 meters wide. It stands 2.44 meters tall with a ground clearance of 0.43 meters. The Abrams can cross trenches as wide as 3 meters and is capable of moving forward on terrain with as much as a 60% grade and a side slope of 40%. The Abrams is a very heavy tank. And when we say heavy, it's really heavy. Coming in at 73 tons, the Abrams is significantly heavier than Germany's Leopard 2, which weighs 68 tons, and the British Challenger 2, which weighs 64 tons. Its heaviness is largely due to the tank's impressive armor protection, which we'll talk about shortly. The Abrams carries a crew of 4, including a commander, a driver, a gunner, and a loader. The driver's positioned at the front of the tank, directly below the main gun, and uses a motorcycle-style handlebar to steer the tank. Acceleration is achieved by twisting the hand grip, again like a motorcycle. The brake pedal is located on the floorboard just like a car. The tank is powered by a 1500 horsepower Honeywell AGT 1500 multi-fuel turbine engine that's whisper quiet. Although the engine is optimized for jet fuel, it can also run on gasoline and diesel. The U.S. Army typically uses jet fuel, but has reportedly begun to use diesel for refueling purposes. The Abrams is a true gas guzzler. It burns 392 liters or 1.67 gallons per minute while traveling cross-country and 38 liters or 10 gallons per hour when idling. The Abrams also has a compact single-cylinder diesel engine that serves as an auxiliary power system. This small fuel-efficient secondary engine can generate 10 kilowatts of electricity, which is sufficient to power the tank's key components, including its turret, while the main engine is not running. The Abrams has a 6-speed Allison X1100 3B hydrokinetic automatic transmission, 4 of which propel the tank forward and 2 in reverse. Its running gear includes 7 road wheels with the drive sprocket at the rear and the idler at the front. Rotary shock absorbers are located at the 1st, 2nd, and 7th wheel stations. The fuel tank holds 500 gallons, giving the tank a range of approximately 264 miles. It can reach speeds of 42 miles per hour on roadways and 30 miles per hour cross-country. Technically, the Abrams can achieve higher speeds, but its engine is governed due to the high risk of damage to the drivetrain. In terms of firepower, the Abrams carries an M256 120mm smoothbore cannon and 42 rounds of ammunition. It can fire several different types of shells, including armor-piercing and high-explosive rounds. It even supports canister shells to deal with infantry units at short ranges. A recent addition to the Abrams is its ability to fire advanced multi-purpose shells that can be programmed to explode in different ways, such as on contact, in the air, or on delay. This is accomplished through a highly specialized ammunition data link. The Abrams can fire up to 8 rounds per minute, even though the loading process is manual. The 120mm main weapon has an effective range of up to 4,000 meters and is highly accurate, even while the tank is on the move. It accomplishes this through its computer-stabilized cannon, an advanced ballistic fire control system, and its exceptional vision technology. The Abrams uses a cutting-edge fire control system that can calculate firing solutions based on angle, ammunition type, and range to target. It gathers a vast amount of information, everything from air and ammunition temperature to barrel droop caused by barrel heat and gravitational pull. In addition to its 120mm main gun, the Abrams also has a 50 caliber machine gun above the commander hatch, a coaxial 7.62 machine gun, and a 7.62 machine gun located above the loader. The Abrams carries a 6-tube smoke grenade launcher to obscure the battlefield. It can also generate smoke from its engine compartment by injecting a small amount of diesel fuel into the tank's exhaust system. The Abrams has superior sighting technology. It possesses a 3rd-generation thermal imaging system for the gunner and the commander that uses long and mid-wave infrared technology. This system provides 10x magnification of narrow views and 3x magnification of wide-field views. The gunner also has a Kollmorgen Model 939 auxiliary sight with magnification of 8x. The driver has an impressive picture-in-picture digital display and advanced night vision technology that provides a 20-degree field of view. The tank also has a position navigation system that allows the commander to identify the tank's location relative to other friendly units. The Abrams has long been known for its incredible armor protection. In fact, the Abrams may be the best protected modern battle tank in existence today. It's a top-secret variant of British Chobham armor technology. a special arrangement of metal plates, composite ceramic blocks, and open space. It also incorporates a layer of graphite-coated depleted uranium mesh. The ceramic blocks and depleted uranium mesh allow the Abrams to absorb vast amounts of kinetic energy. The open spaces within the armor provide room to disperse metal shards and hot gases. Its underside is also armored to protect against mines and IEDs. The tank's suspension, wheel sprockets, and tracks are protected by an armored side skirt. The interior of the turret is lined with Kevlar, improving the chances of crew survivability from metal shrapnel if the main armor does not fully absorb an incoming projectile. The Abrams stores its ammunition in a protected compartment within the turret. This compartment is equipped with blowout panels to direct blasts away from the vehicle and crew in the event of an ammunition explosion. In addition to physical armor, the Abrams also possesses the AN VLQ-12 Crew Duke Counter IED system. This system can electronically block enemy radio transmissions used to detonate roadside bombs, protecting the tank from improvised explosive devices. So, now that we have a look at both tanks, which one is better? To answer this question, we're going to compare these two tanks using three different categories: maneuverability, armament, and protection. Let's start with maneuverability. The Type 99 is extremely fast by today's standards. It can achieve speeds of 50 miles per hour on open roads and 37 miles per hour when traveling on terrain. The Abrams is nowhere near as fast, with a road speed of 42 miles per hour and 30 miles per hour cross-country. That's quite a difference. When it comes to range, the Type 99 far outpaces the Abrams. It has a much smaller fuel tank than the Abrams, but can travel upwards of 600 kilometers or 370 miles without refueling. Despite having a much larger fuel tank, the gas-guzzling Abrams can only travel 425 kilometers or 264 miles between refuelings. One advantage the Abrams has over the Type 99 is that it has a multi-fuel engine. It can run on jet fuel, gasoline, and diesel, giving it great flexibility. The Type 99, however, only uses diesel. Given its speed and range between fuelings, the Type 99 is significantly better than the Abrams in this category. Winner, Type 99. So, who wins when it comes to armament? The M1A2 Abrams has a 120mm smoothbore cannon with an effective range between 3,000 and 4,000 meters. It can fire a variety of different shells, including anti-personnel canister rounds. The Abrams also has an ammunition data link, which can be used to program multi-purpose rounds to explode in different ways: on contact, in the air, or on delay. The Type 99 has a 125mm main gun with an effective range of up to 5,000 meters, 1,000 meters more than the Abrams. Not only that, but the Type 99 also carries 4 long-range anti-tank missiles that can hit targets up to 5 kilometers away. The Abrams does not possess a long-range anti-tank missile. While range is important, it's not as important as being able to hit and kill targets on the first attempt. The United States is known for developing cutting-edge technology, and while China is no slouch in this area, it is more known for its ability to manufacture high-tech systems. Also, when it comes to developing tanks, China has historically used aspects of Russian and to a lesser extent Western design features. Unfortunately, sometimes these features are obsolete by the time development is completed. So it's safe to say that the Abrams, especially its acquisition and targeting systems, is much more technologically advanced than the Type 99. Today, the first hit is usually the last hit because of the capabilities of modern munitions. We believe that the Abrams has a higher first hit capability despite being outranged by the Type 99. Winner? Abrams. So far, it's a draw. Which tank will win when it comes to protection? This is a difficult category to assess. We know very little about the materials used in the Type 99's composite armor, and there's no information regarding its effectiveness. We do know quite a bit about the composite armor on the Abrams, especially the fact that it has a layer of depleted uranium mesh that's coated with graphite, making it more difficult to penetrate. This certainly is an important difference because it's unlikely the Type 99 uses materials that are as effective against incoming threats. The Abrams also has a passive counter-IED system, which is incredibly important for low-intensity conflicts. The difference in weight is also something else to consider. The Type 99 weighs 54 tons, while the Abrams is 73 tons. All that weight has to go somewhere, and in the case of the Abrams, it's the heavy armor it carries. Before we go ahead and award this category to the Abrams, we need to pause for a second to talk about the active protection system available on the Type 99. In the not-so-distant past, the biggest threat to a tank on the battlefield was another tank. Over the last decade, man-portable anti-tank missiles have become a major feature on the modern battlefield, which has changed everything. As the war in Ukraine has shown, these anti-tank missiles pose so much of a threat that tanks can only engage enemy units from a distance. In effect, tanks have become infantry support vehicles. The fact that the Type 99 can automatically detect and disrupt incoming missiles through its active protection system is a huge advantage. Although the active protection system is pretty interesting, it doesn't change our opinion that the Abrams is much better protected. Winner: Abrams. Here's what it all boils down to. Although the Abrams is the superior tank, the Type 99 is much better than people realize. It simply does not receive the credit it deserves. China has made a giant leap forward with the Type 99 and has caught up to the rest of the world in terms of features. Countries need to start paying attention to the Type 99 because it's only going to get better. But what do you think? Has China caught up with the other modern battle tanks? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more military analysis from military experts.